Alright, now let's start working on our pause menu. And for that, let's go back in the level 1. And we will start working on it here. Well, first of all, let's create some visuals for our pause menu, and then we will work on the script. So in the canvas, let's right-click UI and let's create legacy text. Let's go in CMU, let's click F on the text to zoom in. And let's call this one pause screen. Well, actually before we create text, let's create in the canvas. Let's create UI and let's create panel. And this panel will handle all of our pause menu UI elements. I think it will be more logical. And let's call this one pause menu or pause screen. Let's call this one pause screen. Okay, now let's go in the game wheel. And as you see, it's just white half transparent. Background, what I will do, I will change the source image from this background to be known. So let's scroll all the way and let's select known. And let's change color to be darker color. So that's when we activate this pause screen. Oh, we will have some difference so that our players can tell that yes, we are indeed in pause screen. Okay, now let's activate for a moment. And in the post screen, let's right-click UI legacy text. And let's go in the scene wheel. And I will position this text here. This will be a text that will say that we are paused. So let's make it bigger. Let's change text to be paused. Well, it's optional, of course. I will make it to be center. In the alignment to be center. And in the middle, just like these. We can also change the font, so let's select text. I will drag my font here. And let's change color to be white. And let's make this one to be bigger. 16. Yeah, 60 will look fine, okay. Now, next thing that we will do, we will add to buttons. One will be for the going back in main menu, and one will be for resuming our game. For that, in the post screen, let's select post screen. Right-click UI legacy button. Let's go in scene wheel, let's select direct tool. Make this button as big as we want, just like this. And let's call this one resume button. And I will make text to say resume. And I will drag my phone here. I will change the color of the button to be reddish. Just like we had in the main menu, and text to be white. And let's make the size of the font to be bigger. Maybe 30, yeah, I think it looks alright. Alright, we have resume button, now let's duplicate. So control entity to duplicate. Let's take other button down. And let's call this one quit button. Not quit button, menu button. And I will change text to be menu to say menu. Just like this. Now that we have our pause screen visuals, next step will be to create C# script and start working on the way it will work. It will work a little bit differently because it will have some additional feature because we will have some key on the keyboard that will control our posing. And I'm posing, and depending on that, we will just activate and deactivate the screen. By default, obviously, it will be deactivated. So we can deactivate it. Now our pause screen, because when our game starts, we don't want to see the pause screen. Now let's go in the scripts folder and let's create new C# script. I already have one, I called it pause menu. You can call it anything that you like. And let's just drag and drop it into the canvas. Let's select cameras to make sure it's here. And let's double click to open in Visual Studio. Now what we need here, well, we have to buttons. It means we need to functions. So let's first of all create button for the main menu. So let's say public void our main menu. What we want here? Well, we can go and create shrink just like we did before. Public shrink. Let's call this one main menu name. And we can use CManager, and to use CManager up top, we will add using Unity engine.cmanagement. You already saw all of this. And now when we touch our button, we want CManager to load C. And in brackets, we will pass our main menu name. Okay, that's for the main menu. Now let's create another function public void. And this one will be for the pausing and unpausing. So let's call this one pause and pause. Symbol. Now what's this function should do? Well, this function should check if we are paused or not. If you are in game, so for that we will add some bullying. So let's add public bool. And let's call this one as paused. Just like this, and also, we will add visual representation, reference for our pause screen. Since we should activate and deactivate our pause screen, so we will say in the script public game object. Pause screen. And in pause and unpause, as I said, we should check if we are in pause or not. So we can say if is paused. So it means that if his post is true, right? We should basically say that his post should be false. And I will explain you why. Well, this function, this logic will be called when we are already paused. When we are already in the pause menu. And when we touch some specific key to resume our game. Right, or when we are touching resume button. So it means that we want to just continue our game. So east post will be false. And also our screen should be deactivated, so that our players can continue playing. So we will say post screen.setActive equals 4. In the brackets false. And we will add else statement. And this else statement will run when we are playing. And when we are touching some key to pause. So it means that these pause will be true. Our pause screen should be activated. So pause screen said activate true. And that's pretty much it. Now wish you what we can do in the update. We can assign this pause and pause mechanic into the some specific key. So for example, we can say if input dots get key down and let's case a key code. Well, you can use any key that you want. I will use this key. I think it will be logical to use this key, and I will just call this pause and pause function here. Pause and pause bracket semicolon. And we can save the script. And now everything should work. Now let's save the script. Let it compile, let's go back. And first thing that we will do, we should assign a few things. We should connect the buttons to the functions. And also in the canvas, we should write here main menu name. And also we should drag post screen. So let's drag post screen here. For the main menu name, we should find C and what is called our main menu. And we should type our main menu C name correctly. So mine is called main menu with capital M's. So I will say main menu. Now let's connect the buttons and functions. So first of all, let's connect menu button. We will click plus, we will drag cameras. And we will find pause menu and main menu. Now let's select resume button, click plus. Take these canvas here. And let's find pause and pause for the resume. And that's pretty much it. Now let's save the C and now let's try this mechanic and see if everything is fine. Okay, let's click escape and we are in the pause menu. We can click escape to unpause, we can click resume. We are not able because we have one problem. But the main problem that we have is that even when we are in the pause menu, as you see, we are still able to move and play our game. And that's really not exactly what we want. We want our game to be freezed while we are in the pause menu. So let's say stop playing and let's go back. And it has very easy fix. We should say here, for example, that we want our time.time, not time.time.time scale to be equal to 1f, and here we will say time. So it's time scale to be 0f, because here we are in the pause menu. And what it does this time to time scale, basically it freezes our time, so Unity will not have any kind of time sense in it. At that moment, and while we are back into the game, we will go back to normal timing in the unit. Now let's save the script, and let's check if everything is working now. Let's do script compile, let's go back, let's test. And now we should be able to. Yeah, oh no! We are still we are just looking around, but we can't move. And I think our game is freezed right now. And now we should move, but the problem is, now that we can still get some input, information about the game, for example, we can still look around, and that's pretty much it. I think what we can, but that's not should happen. And that's bag that unit has. And it also has one more bag. And we will fix all of the bags in the next video. I'll end this video over here. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you won't miss any new videos. See you in the next videos.